Okay, we are in Kyoto and I'm going to give you a short tour of the Benrido collotype gallery. So this place has been here since, I think it's 1887, and they started making collotype prints in, I think, 1905. And one of the printmakers who's actively working here has been working here since 1965. So you get the some of the idea. So there's this store, and there's another little store around the corner that has smaller artworks and postcards and collotype prints from many of the artists who worked here. But this particular show is an artist named Sakiko Nomura, and she has a lot of amazing images here. I'll talk a little bit about these images, and I'll show you the gallery in the back. They actually have two other exhibitions in two other locations, so I hope to see those. And if you collect a stamp from each one, you get a 10% off discount. So I'll show you the exhibition, but first, this is the actual print studio here. There was a tour going on earlier, and this machine was on with the plate going back and forth, and they were inking it up and watering it, cleaning it up. Some of these machines have been here for 50 years making collotype prints. So collotype is an old photographic process, more than 100 years old. And this display is really fun. It shows you how they do it. They start with the negative. Nowadays they start with the digital negative, and they use put gelatin, light sensitive gelatin, on a plate and expose that plate, and then that plate selectively will pick up the ink and they'll press it into paper, and they use Japanese papers made for them. This is a special ink that's specially made for them, for Benrido Studio. And they have a nice display here of collotype versus offset printing versus inkjet printing with these little mini microscopes that you can see the detail. And offset printing, of course, has the screen pattern that's very obvious and common. And the collotype, when you look at it up close, you can really see how fine the grain is. It looks very delicate and precise, and, well, it looks very Japanese. And I'll show you that gallery in a moment. These prints are from a series from 2023 called Traumere, and it's based on a piano song. I think it's a German word that I'm not pronouncing right at all. Based on a song by German composer Robert Schumann. And basically it means dream. So these are kind of these dreamlike images where she's combining two different photos, and giving the names are the where she made them, but they may or may not be where she made them. So anyway, this one's called Bhopal, as in the country, in the city in India, with a picture of a helicopter and a horse of some kind. And yeah, I don't know the connection, and this is called Tokyo, and it's a plate of fruit that maybe the bowl is broken, and there's sort of a pornographic image underneath. Here's a beautiful image of a cityscape, and it's got the date from the camera in there. Not all of them have that. And down below is some other cityscape. Anyway, so they're very abstract, dreamlike, and again, these are collotypes. And this one, let's see, what's this one? There's this nice detailed description of everything here. So number 6 is from the series called, oh, so this is printed on waste paper. So this is recycled paper. They go through a lot of paper, they have a lot of scraps, and they make this recycled paper for the studio. The artist focused on the accidental, let's see here. Okay, so this artwork is inspired by the many test prints that are made in the collotype process. So the artist kind of collaged together a bunch of images, and including this beautiful calligraphy. And then in this gallery, there's another series. It's called Moonlit Night, and again, these are collotypes with multiple plates, each one, printed one at a time. And the original film was maybe damaged, or it's got this beautiful distressed thing going on. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell, maybe you can tell by the darkness of the frame and how the black is not as black as the frame here. The black of the ink collotype only gets so dark. I mean, this one looks darker, but it's always, or at least the ones that I see here, are very matte. So the blacks are only going to be as black as they can be with the matte paper. And this frame is slightly glossy, so the blacks are easier to get deeper. I love this one. Look at all this distressed artifacts from the print or the negative, making a sort of, it's almost like it's snowing. They look kind of like flowers. They have this cool earth tone colors to them. Love that. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, there were a bunch of people in here earlier, and now there's nobody. So the back gallery is really cool because it's all this funky distressed space. I don't know what it was before. There's a metal plate, and there's these concrete bricks, and then these little styrofoam ones that they made to kind of match the pattern. And anyway, I love the space. I won't talk about the space too much because that is sort of maybe not as interesting to everybody. Okay, so in this gallery, there's this new series made for this show for the anniversary. Okay, let me see here. It's a 120th anniversary of the studio, Atelier. So there's a few series. There's portraits of the artisans, and let's see. Let me just look up which one this is. This is 257. So there's, it's a picture of a graveyard, and a Japanese graveyard. So these are the tombs of the founding family of the studio. So, and this is incense at the tomb of the founding family. So again, this series is all about the studio itself and celebrating its 120th year. So the artist took at least 50 new photos, and I think maybe some were existing. And so there's these abstract, beautifully seen images from the tomb, and there's this black on black. So this is black ink on black paper. I don't know how much you're going to see in the video. It's kind of about the experience of seeing it in person and getting a sense of the texture of it. But it's an experiment in expressing how, oh, here's an interface, by the way. It's an experiment in expressing the quality of the ink itself. So this is even harder to see. There's sort of pictures of, I think, roses, some kind of flower, but it's really black on black. And these are framed with no glazing, no glass in the frame. And she said, the gallery person here was saying, yes, they're very delicate, and if you had these in your home, you would probably want glass over them. But to see the texture here and really appreciate it, it's nice to not have any glass. So this is also part of the tombs, I think, of the family. So these are details of the buildings where the tomb is, or the graveyard. So then there's these pictures of the hands of the artisans who work here, who make the collotype prints. And the texture of the paper is, and it's just perfect for giving that warm tone of real human skin. So that's pretty, very beautiful. And then these are the printmakers, and it describes here how long, the name of each one and how long they've worked here, when they started, how long they've worked here, and more hands. So there's 14 of them. Now I love this one. It's not, it looks like a book, the edge of a book, but it's actually a what they use to put prints in to flatten them out or dry them out or something. I didn't quite understand which part of the process they're used with, but so there's stacks of paper. They look kind of like books, but they're not. And it just looks, yeah, it's just very luscious. These dark tones, the limited tonal range. It's, well, limited in the sense that there's no white and there's no black, but within the grays, there's a lot of grays, which is very rich. So this is, and this is a temple associated with Atelier, meaning they're clients of the studio here. So they were documenting them as part of their anniversary show. And this is a Buddha, I believe, in one of these temples here. Actually, this temple's in Nara, south of Kyoto, and it is, in real life, it's colorful, but they're going for this black on black Gothic kind of feeling. That's pretty cool. And again, there's some very abstract photos. This kind of looks like text. Kind of looks like water, or maybe it's a double exposure, I'm not sure. This might be the equipment in the studio. And there's some more hands. There's some more of the artisans. And this guy is the guy who's been working here since 1965. Current year right now is 2024. He started when he was 15 years old. And it's a beautiful portrait. So there's more. And then as a, having to do with, part of the theme here is of death and the tombstone. So the artist printed, made these photographs of flowers. And these are actually, you can see the paper is more glossy, more shiny here. It's actually printed on silk. And these are fake flowers. You can kind of see the edge. They're sort of coming apart, cheap fake flowers. And there's, these are also kind of very distressed fake flowers, but the colors are so cool. These are, she said it was 4 or 5 color printing. And again, collotype on silk. And these are real flowers, so you gotta look very carefully. The colors are actually very intense here, and they look so cool on the black, and the wall is black. And here's a, maybe, I don't know if it's the same bouquet, I don't think so, but another bouquet that is distressed. So actually this is a mix of real and fake, because this green here, you can see the threads of the fake foliage, but the dead leaves, I assume, are real dead leaves. and it fits the space so well, this distressed floor. I don't know, again, what this space was used for. Okay, that tour got a little long, but I had a lot to talk about. It's a really cool show, and this is KG Plus. It's number 7 on the map, I believe. And it is a 5-minute walk from my show, which is number 12. And today, Monday the 22nd of April, is the last day of my show. So I'm heading over there, and I'll be there till 6 o'clock today.